Mr. Scott, thanks for being here today. I thank all the panelists. Mr. Aguilar, first, in the past, CBP has not necessarily devoted much time to consultations with Congress, with the trade community, trying to find, as you would call it, co-creation progress going forward. You and your predecessor have changed that culture, have spent a great deal of time with that outreach. I want to thank you for doing that, encourage you to do more of it. I think it's very helpful. I've got two questions, one dealing with ACE, one with measurements. And as you heard from Mr. McDermott, there's bipartisan support for getting ACE in place, and there's bipartisan concern about the delays and what the future is on that program. The reason it is critical, this trade subcommittee in Ways and Means have three major goals. One is to find new customers, level the playing field around the world for our American products and services. Secondly, to fight protectionism here and abroad that delay or become barriers for our products to be sold around this world. And finally, what we're doing today, which is streamlining the movement of these goods and services. Time is a trade barrier in the 21st century. ACE could be critical to creating more efficiency in that system. My question to you is, looking forward over the next 12 months, which ACE functionalities can we expect CBP to deliver?
Mr. Chairman, as you said, ACE is absolutely critical. ACE, simply put, is going to modernize into the 21st century. It's going to streamline, facilitate, and give us a greater capability at targeting illicit commodities and goods coming into this country. Having said that, we have prioritized the ACE functionalities that we're looking at putting forward. Some of those include the going forth on the ITDS, as Mr. Scud pointed out, following through with our simplified entry that is already the first module, if you will, working towards full cargo release. Critically important that we move forward on those. Continuing our efforts to include the co-creation of what all of the PGAs are looking for us to do. So one of the things that, of course, we are faced with are the budget constraints. But prioritizing what it is that we have in place that will dovetail with what the needs are going forward. Complete e-manifest for rail and sea, simplified entry of the phase one, the document imaging system that we just talked about, the PGA message set, and the interoperability, critically important. Moving forward at or about the 12-month period and continuing is going to be something that the trade has asked for specifically, which is the entry summary edits capability. And then, of course, working towards the integration of the exports capability in support of the President's export initiative.
So, Commissioner, in the first 12 months, which elements are you looking at?
It's going to be the ACE, continuing the rail and sea. It's going through the pilot now. It is going to continue with a simplified entry that is basically moving forward as we speak.
Got it.
And already commenced a pilot on the exports initiative. Now, as quickly as we can, because we've already allocated from carryover monies, is what we refer to as critical fixes on already deployed capabilities. And what that means, Mr. Chairman, this is something that's critically important to me, is going back to all of those deployments that we have deployed in the past that have not worked as well as they should have, as we planned them, and as we envisioned them. So we're going back to fix those to get them to where they need to be operating.
Okay. I think there'll probably be follow-up questions on ACE. Let me ask a final question on measurement.
Mm-hmm.
We have two young boys. I've discovered that putting a bunch of 5-year-olds on a soccer field doesn't necessarily mean you'll see a soccer game. Right. And creating a whole number of new programs and efficiencies doesn't guarantee efficiency unless you measure it. So my question to you is, what measurements, and I know the World Bank study recently ranked America 9th in measuring the efficiency of our supply chain. In customs efficiency, we were ranked 13th in the world. International shipments, 17th. Did better in some other areas, tracking and tracing consignments. The goal of this legislation is to move up those rankings. So, what are you measuring today in efficiency and accuracy and security? And as we move forward with ACE and others, what other measurements will you be looking at?
Yes, sir. Critically important that we take a look at the metrics. And for each one of these efforts that we're undertaking, we have identified a set of metrics. I would like to give you a couple on some of the things that are most prominent. As an example, on ACE, some of the metrics that we're measuring is entry summary filers and how that is progressing moving forward. Entry summaries by the filers, how many are they actually conducting? Filer entry summary submissions to ACE, summaries that are submitted, the percent of eligible entry summaries that are filed in ACE. What percentage are we seeing in an increase? And I've got some numbers that I can provide to you later on if you would like. Post-summary correction submissions, something that the trade asked for, we provided, and now we're finding that they're using it tremendously. Validation activities under ACE. I spoke earlier about our centers of excellence and expertise. We piloted these just back in October of 2011. But moving forward on that, one of the things that we set in place was our ability to capture the metrics. I'll just go through a couple of those to show the level of detail that we're going through. But under risk segmentation and facilitating the legitimate trade, some of the things that we're looking at, do the centers maintain or improve the revenue gap within the industry standards from the compliance standpoint? Do the centers maintain or improve compliance of the revenue within the industry standards? Are the centers increasing the paperless rate that we are also interested in? Do the centers improve the detection rate and increase seizures of high-risk products? And there's a litany of about 15 metrics that we use. So for every one of these undertakings that we're moving forward on, we have a metrics unit that we're looking at for each one of them.
Right. If you could supply those to the committee, that would be helpful. Mr. Kibble and Mr. Scott as well. And you're looking at your respective duties, what you measure today and are contemplating, that would be very helpful to me as we move forward. I exceed my time, Ranking Member